Now hear me out. I know that you're all getting ready to type in the comments about how I'm insane and stupid and don't know how to play and how can you play Tau without Broadside? No, the Hammerhead will do what a Broadside does, better, and it will do more. Broadsides have one job. They will break heavy armored vehicles, not even units, vehicles. That's it. They're not mobile, they're not particularly tough, they can't do anything else. They can't fight, you can't outfit them to be a shooty or a mobile or melee oriented unit. They can destroy heavy vehicles. 6th edition has really hurt vehicles already. I've noticed in a lot of the games that I've either seen or played, you see less and less of the 3 or 4 Land Raiders, that massive Lehman Russ gun line, because they don't hold up like they did before. With the new rules as far as glancing to death and random weapons destroyed and stuff like that, especially glancing to death, which is a problem I have with our own book, but we have a 3-up cover save, so. The cost of 2 of these guys, you get a Hammerhead, an Ion Head anyway. You could afford to bring it as, it is the same, I guess, of a railhead. You can't bring just 2. It's the same problem you have with the Piranhas and the Vespid and the Kroot, is you have to fill these out. You can't just bring 2 of these, you gotta bring 3. You gotta give them target lock, you've gotta give them plasmas, so that they have at least something they can do when they get close, or you give them multi-trackers and then bring them and just walk them up with the advanced stabilization system with the rest of your army. Or you surround them in Fire Warriors and hope that your opponent doesn't get through those Fire Warriors, which he will. I'm gonna go over that when we go over Fire Warrior tactics. They're gonna take 3 shots per turn and they're gonna kill 3 things, or 1 thing, unless you give them the target lock, which actually does something now, so I guess that's a bonus. Thankfully, that was put back in our book. That FAQ really made me actually want to play 6th edition again. But anyway, 3 things top, and with those 3, they have to at least be almost 100 point, because you want to make back your points cost and do more, because you can't just break even, you want to do more. They also don't really work well with the rest of your army in that they can't protect anyone. You can't slide them in front of your Fire Warriors when at the last moment. You can't tank shock, you can't be a meat shield because you're too expensive and there's too few of you. Yes, you're gonna draw fire, but you can't survive the fire that you're gonna draw. You're gonna get instant death with only a toughness of 4. Oh, but you have a 2-up save. How many guns get around a 2-up save? I should make a list at some point, but off the top of my head, let's see, you've got las cannons, bright lances, melta-guns, plasma cannons, plasma pistols, melta pistols, infernus pistol, railgun, the arc lance. There's no reason, and never mind the fact that if they just fired like rockets at you and you fail to save, there goes your unit or one of your massively expensive one-job vehicle killer broadside. If you have enough points, if you're playing a really big game, definitely bring them. They are without a doubt needed. If you're playing Apocalypse, bring them. They will do exactly what you need against those Titans and those super heavies. They'll crush a Titan. But in a regular 2000, 1500, bring the railgun. Bring the Hammerhead. It'll out-survive them and it has more use. It can, and with the way heavy support can hold objectives now, as per that big guns never tire, there's no reason not to, because you're not going to have your broadside rushing across the board in turn 4 trying to grab that objective before the game ends. And finally, the other 2 heavy support. The last 2 units that I haven't really talked about, your sniper team and your Sky Ray. Once again, they're now heavy support, or they are heavy support. I don't know how long they've been, probably a while. They have to compete with not only Hammerheads, they've got to compete with Broadsides. So if you wanted to make the argument, if you had the points or the money or whatever it was to buy and bring big teams, 3-man teams of Broadsides, because you don't like the Hammerheads because they're just one shot and you might miss, and when you miss, it's a useless and blah, 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 whatever your argument is. Now you have to decide whether you want to bring that or you bring a Sky Ray, a sniper team. Now the sniper team, yes, you can bring 3 and they only take up 1 choice, but they're rather expensive. And the rail rifle is not that great a weapon. Once again, hear me out. With the Fire Warrior little commander guy, it makes them they're not jetpack infantry. So they can't move and shoot that rail rifle, which automatically makes you stationary. Oh, but they have stealth. So if you sit in a piece of terrain, you have a really good cover save. Then you die, because you're only 36-inch range, so you'll get probably 2 rounds of shooting from a normal army that wants to get to. Fast armies, 1 round of shooting. Second, they're gonna be in vehicle. You better hope that that railgun that you replaced, or those broadsides that you brought in didn't bring because you wanted to try out the snipers, you better hope that they did their job and didn't miss and took out the vehicle that you needed to kill in order for these stealth or these snipers to actually do something. It's just, I don't have anything to say about these guys. Do not bring them. Don't bring sniper. They're neat looking and they'll kill Space Marines, yeah. But we don't need that. We have other things that will kill Space Marines. Never mind the fact that Fire Warriors will do a better job more reliably and for less cost. More of the story is, don't bring snipers, they're not worth it. The Skyray, it has marker lights, so it can benefit everyone. Seeker missiles can make a difference. I mean, they're too expensive for what they do, but it is a tank, and it's one of our tanks, and our tanks are amazing tanks. They're skimmers, they count as fast with the upgrade, flechettes will throw off a melee army, and disruption pods will protect you from pretty much anything. That being said, you're competing with, once again, railguns and broadsides. I keep saying railguns. They're not railguns, they're hammerheads. Hammerheads and broadsides, who are both better than you, or better than the Skyray, that is. So the point is, don't bring snipers and don't bring Skyrays. They're neat and they look cool, and I brought them. I like them. They're an interesting unit, but they're not going to do the job for you. So don't bring them, and don't bring Croup, because you can bring allies if you really want to bring melee. Don't bring Vespid, they're too expensive. Don't bring Piranhas, unless you're going all Piranhas. Bring Fire Warriors, bring Battlesuits, bring Pathfinders, bring Hammerheads. And I'm going to explain why those 4 units, plus your commander, will win you pretty much any game you want to play. With that, I'm going to end this video, so stay tuned. I am definitely going to have more of these. I'm going to try and get these out as quick as I can as I explain the different units. Now in the next video, I'm going to talk about the number 1 combination, the one thing that's going to win you the game, Pathfinders and Fire Warriors. Those 2 units, that 2 unit type, will win you. They are the backbone and the muscle and everything else in your army. Everyone else is support for them. If they do their job right, they win the game for you. So stay tuned for that, and happy wargaming.